Hello and welcome to Tabletalkers, Band of Iron. When last we left the band, they investigated the area that the corrupted beings were fighting in. Taking part in the confrontation, they managed to get one of them on a weaker state and the other one went in for the kill shot. However, at that time, at the time of the kill shot, Vashnir was grappled by the thing, about to be zapped to death by lightning. And Jodak utilized some strange inky orb that seems to have stopped the flow of time around him, and I missed the Discord on where the fucking crack came from again. So, hopefully that doesn't keep happening. We now take the camera to Jodak as he's crawling towards the innards of this supposed godlike creature. So, as you stated beforehand, you went in through that thing's broken off leg and began proceeding forward. I'm assuming you're still using the vague pulsating light from the from whatever that greenish light source is. Where is it? From whatever that green source. Me? Really?
Caleb.
From whatever that greenish light source is. I'm assuming you're still doing so?
Yes. Traveling past all the energy being fired from this laser. The laser of the flag. Using the greenish light of the god.
There is a lot of that purplish lightning-like energy here, but due to your current state of being, it is not something that you need to worry about. Even interacting with it, it doesn't transfer anything to you. Which is a very strange thing to try to, wrap your head around. But proceeding
not
forward.
being affected by the slime that is around me. Or being covered in it.
You kinda can't be covered in it either. Nothing can stick to you at this point in time. You're just kinda thanking your lucky stars that this passageway is mostly clear. Because moving things around is very difficult. If even possible. Do you actively try to move anything out of the way?
Seeing that nothing seems to be sticking to me in this clear passage, I would try at least once. Just to see if I can move anything.
You put your hand against some random bit of matter and push against it, but there's no reaction to it. It has not moved.
That's the one time I need to try. There's nothing else for me to do, so I'm just going to carry on. Continue following the lights.
Proceeding forward, you do eventually come upon a larger... I struggle to say clearing, because it's not clear. But there's enough space for you to actually move around and kind of get your bearings a bit. Black tendril-like strands are everywhere. You see various things that you can assume are organs, but don't know what to call. And all the while, this small cyan pulse is going along. And now that you're in here, though, it's more all-encompassing, circular even. And you can tell that it's going toward where it seems like the energy is flowing from that you've been following as well. The purple line of electricity. I struggle to find the words to describe these things. Think of it kind of like a core, but organic. I guess an overly circular heart, maybe? Might be the closest way I could describe it. Some strange sphere thing.
Seems to be the core or center of its power, or wherever the laser's coming from.
Yes.
I see. In which case, since I'm unaffected by, seem to be unaffected by those laser, I would go and examine inside the sphere core more closely. If everything seems to be pulling me towards that direction.
Going over there and observing it, you do see a small pulse of that purplish energy move out and around the cavern. And as it passes by you, you do feel all the hair on you stand up on end instantly.
What about the bluish energy?
That one's all around, but it seems to be going inward toward that, whereas that one came from that.
Is there any way I can, for lack of a better term, push forward through said core? Is it solid, liquid?
Looking at it, it looks pretty solid. Do you want to physically interact with it?
Yes, please.
Put a hand on it, I guess?
Yeah, that feels right.
Okay, now I'll give you the scary option. The scary words. Which hand?
I didn't think about it. I haven't been affected by anything else thus far. So I would use my dominant hand, so my right hand.
Okay. As you place your fingers upon it, you find it causes your hand to immediately lock up and sort of grabs you in that way.
And can't let go or pull my hand back.
You attempt to do so, but it basically at the wrist, it's just trying to meld onto it almost. Like it contact welded your fingertips. And then you will begin to feel a static buildup around the end of your hand and a bright, searing sensation starting at the fingertips. and begin very, very, very slowly to work its way down from the fingertips.
I can't. Do not seem to be able to just release my hand or
No.
let go of any sort of way.
No.
Can I? I need to check my wrist again.
About now, it's at the first knuckle on each of your fingers.
Forgot to put my sheet because I wasn't sure if it needed.
By now, it's reached about the second knuckle on each of your fingers.
Can I cast any spells?
You can try to do whatever you want, but careful with somatic components, Mr. One Hand.
You make a good point. I don't know what this spell does. I can cast Hex on said orb.
I'm sorry, please repeat whatever you said.
I was going to cast Hex on the orb.
You attempt to hex the orb.
Yeah.
With your other hand, you go through the motions of it, but nothing occurs.
I am still in my soulstone form, or whatever it's called.
I don't think you were.
I was when I flew
Are you?
in here.
I didn't remember.
Yeah, the first thing I did was activate my soul stone to go try to get Vashtir out. And seeing I couldn't get Vashtir out, I flew into the open leg. That was cut off.
Didn't remember you activated your thing. I thought that you were on the carpet for most of that.
No, someone destroyed my carpet.
Half of it, you were surfing.
I was surfing then Vashtir near the guy laser. So I decided flying would be better.
Okay. But as I've now made it evident that I forgot that you had that on,
Yeah.
I will say that around about the base of the fingers, you do feel a slight pulse from your armor heading toward that direction, and then kind of like stopping there.
Still the same searing, burning feeling?
At the end of your fingertips, yes. But right now it's only affecting your thumb and the middle of each of your other fingers.
I don't have any abilities that would do so. But could I focus said energy from said stone towards that hand?
Okay.
Try to push back a little bit.
Make a charisma check. Mister, I didn't think I'd have to use my dice. Or look at my character sheet.
Or look at my character sheet. Now I have to do both. Charisma check. Check.
That's what I said.
8.
No one ever makes a charisma save. It just doesn't happen.
It would have been the same number either way.
Oh. Then why ask?
Unless I'm an Illrigger. Never mind, I'm a Illrigger. That would have been the same number.
I don't know what you are. I don't even know if that's true.
That's not true at all.
Why do you lie to me? Okay. Anyway.
It's persuasion, deception, intimidation. I forgot all the charisma things. Just not charisma themselves.
Alrighty. But with an 8, I can't give you much. I'd say you focus on it and the stalemate continues.
What about bringing the stone itself closer? I suppose.
Whenever you're active form, the stone is very difficult to try to locate. It's kind of sort of fused around it. Not applicable at this time.
Not applicable at this time. Let's see. How do our savagery things work?
What?
I feel like I'm not explaining that well enough. I am
Oh,
sorry.
your melee spell attack?
Melee spell attack. I was going to try to do that in reverse.
It's a melee spell attack. You conjure it, go.
Does it like transform my hands into something else?
You can have it do that, or you can use it as like fire punchies, for example.
Do you like my fire punchies?
Fire's not even your element.
It's not here, it's not.
Back away from the brand.
Suppose that's my next option. To just make a melee spell. Whatever, my poison savage. That's what you can do.
Okay, then make a stone ability check.
What is stone ability check?
Whatever your highest ability is.
I haven't even really checked for a while.
It's whatever it is you use to calculate your save DC.
I forgot that's how we calculated our save DC. And I'd use my save DC all the time. Do I have proficiency?
No, what? It's a
No, of course not. It's a check. Never
It's a
mind.
check.
I don't. 13.
And you're trying to make an impact on this thing in some way, shape, or form? Just punch the
I'm
core?
just trying to wrench my hands away. If that requires me to punch at it with my other arm to try to separate whatever's attached to me, then so be it.
You feel a dangerous concentration of energy around your fingertips. Do you continue this course of action?
Probably not. Then.
Okay. It might get you out. I'll tell you that.
Or be seen as a parasite. Not parasite. What's the word?
Are you not one?
Invader. It wiped out.
Are you not one?
I mean, I am, but you don't have to call me out. I'm just a visitor. Speaking of, as a visitor, I should ask nicely. Hey, can you let go of my hand, please? That would be greatly appreciated.
Another charisma check.
$15.
15. Upon your request, you feel the energy intensify in your fingertips. In a bad way.
See.
You do get the feeling that this time you're being observed by something both singular and countless.
Did you say I failed to cast my spell the last time?
I said you did all the things to cast it, but nothing occurred.
We're gonna lose the spell slot.
Not yet.
You said I'm being observed. Can I tell what direction I'm being observed from?
All around. I would say that the biggest singular thing is this purple orby thing.
Or do you decide to just simply
One more time.
just right? So you heard me and decide to simply ignore me. Do the opposite of what I had. It's fine. Is any specific source of intelligence around?
All
You
around
said
you.
it's all around.
But the single whatever one is probably from the direction of the orb.
I was incapable of flying away, wedging my hands out, removing
So at your
anything.
earlier comment, 2 quick greenish pulses will go toward the center again.
Could I push into the orb? Just out of curiosity.
Doing anything special with your attempt to push, or just push?
I suppose just push.
Try to push your hand forward. You do see it go in. Couple finger knuckles length. It doesn't give easily, but there is give to it. And as you do so, you do feel the midway point between things kind of intensify once more. It's unpleasant, to say the least. Though at this point it's pretty well numbed. You feel the white-hot pain begin to creep slightly more down your hand. Thanks for your input.
Sorry, I was moving.
All eyes on you, Thaddeus.
I know. I'm also thinking, while also realizing there's not a whole lot I can do. Because I tried to attack it, but don't want to attack it. It is a deep discomfort, a natural discomfort, so I don't want to be any closer to the orb. Like you said, there was a singular force observing me that seems mostly to be coming from inside of said orb.
Make a wisdom check. It's an insight if you have it bubbled. We can give hints here. That's allowed.
But I do have insight. Did you say wisdom?
Insight's under
Have you just seen
wisdom.
wisdom all this time?
No. Just this one.
$18.
Okay. You think that maybe the orb is a bit different from all the things around it. Need I elaborate more?
If an 18 can be more, I would like an elaboration.
A separate entity, if you will.
A separate but still singular entity.
Alright. Full spoiler.
I'm not able to.
I got you.
I'm not able to like reach any of the other walls or anything else. Am I?
You can reach the floor. That's like a wall, but horizontal.
It's still a wall and horizontal and equally made of this whatever material it is.
Somewhat goopy stuff.
And just like to scoop up some of this goopy stuff and try to bring it to the orb.
You try to move it, it will not move.
Can I try to pull myself towards it?
You can move yourself toward the ground as much as your outstretched arm will allow. And sit awkwardly.
So you were saying something. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Not
What
saying
exactly were
anything.
you saying?
What?
I thought you started a sentence.
No. I described you being able to sit down awkwardly. And then I chortled, having known that exact experience of being stuck somewhere.
When I asked for a hand earlier, did you take it as I was directing towards the orb? I think directing said request towards the orb.
All things heard you and responded accordingly.
What responses were there? If you could remind me, please.
There were pulses going toward the center, and the orby thing repulsing you. Or incorporating the bits that it could touch itself.
Because I see no other option, can I just fire a bolt into said orb?
What kind of bolt?
Poison bolt from orb's abilities, stone abilities.
Okay. So a bolt from your magical thing you created. It leaves your immediate person and hangs in midair.
Time is frozen.
Not solemnly.
Nothing's gonna move.
Correct.
Great.
It's just there now.
It's just there now. I'm aware it's there. I can't just squat it away, can I?
Try to move it, it doesn't move.
The outside, everything is pulsing inwards. Can I mimic that with my energy? I don't know. Or do the reverse of that?
What are you trying to do?
Stone ability gives me weird magical energy.
Uh-huh.
Assumably from said being from here. If one of the beings is pulsing in a way towards its center, which I seem to be touching now, I have to assume there must be a reason why it's pulsing in said way. Perhaps as a hint saying, this is what I should be doing. This is what it has done to separate itself from said being, so this is what I should do to separate myself from said being.
You might want to reflect upon the variables that you know, or rather have been told to you, before you double down on that. Feel free to think out loud.
Carry on.
I said feel free to think out loud.
Variables that I am aware of in regards to this being. Are that it was originally the original body of the god of order who's lost his name, who's been corrupted by a parasite that is pure chaos or something. Essentially two separate beings, one is trying to take over the other. I'm assuming one is trying to incorporate the other. In which case, this weird orb thing, which is different from everything else around it, will be said parasitic infecting the godlike being.
Sure about that?
Everything else is giving off. It is taking the form of a giant spider on the outside. So am I sure? No. Who am I to judge the true form of a god? Either one could be either one. Which still leads me nowhere. Still leaves me in the position where I'm stuck, attached to this core. If I assume the core is the chaotic being, then it would. I don't know what it would do. If it seems to order being, I don't know what it would do. Except for probably try to get rid of everything and anything around it. And because it's a godlike being, teleporting is not a good option. Teleporting with gods is never a good option.
You see that small cyan pulse just heading from everywhere, it seems, toward where this orb is located. And then every now and then you feel a throb as this purple-colored one emanates back from it.
What's that first color?
Cyanish, greenish, bluish. Same as your stone.
Same as my stone? I believe you said the stone came from Chaos side more than Order side.
That's what someone said at some point in time. I don't know if they were accurate or not.
I think I might have made that assumption because God should have been dead for a long time. I haven't tried to absorb anything. But if one of the beings is giving off waves of power, I'm assuming, could I absorb one of those?
They both are, really.
They both are, but one is cyan. And the other one's responded. If the other's responded rather than actively starting the conversation, for lack of a better term. So in which case that means I would want to try to time my pulls or time whatever action as I take with the cyan pulse.
Tell me what you're doing.
To try to free myself. So I'm still trying to pull my hand away.
Okay, so you're trying to pull your hand away in time with the pulses of cyan, which are going toward the purple thing.
To that inverse in time of the purple thing, which are going away from the purple thing.
Okay. Gonna make you roll all the dexterity check for timing.
That's 3 of the 6 categories. 22.
Okay. You wait for the timing on it. And once it feels right, you yank your arm back. Thankfully it does let go. But, well, you're glad at this point in time you can't feel the rest of your hand. That looks kinda gnarly.
How bad is gnarly?
If you were to touch a chalkboard, it would screech at you.
I see that bad gnarly.
You do maintain manual dexterity over them, though, somehow. Honestly, it might be your gloves.
They are special gloves. I got them forever ago. And now one of them's burned away.
Now we're back to before you touched anything.
Except I'm still worse off. So as much as that was a great experience, that doesn't help me understand what's going on here. Is what I'm saying out loud.
There's no response.
What was my objective again? I'm coming in.
Figure out how to put the old one to sleep, / get it on your side, and personal objective seems to be saving Vashnir.
I feel like that's a bit more than a person. Laser color. What color was it? It was cyan, right?
Purple.
Okay. It was purple. Actually, are the two, you said they are essentially two beams. So, is the core attached to anything?
Not that you can see directly.
Touching the floor or the other slimy space doesn't do anything. Correct.
Not with anything you've tried thus far. You can't move it around, because it's locked in time.
Time Stop is a dirty spell. I don't know how I feel about it. The floor is also slime.
Yes.
Is it as malleable? As in, can stuff pass through it?
No.
No. It's solid floor. It's slime. I was wondering if it was gelatinous, like...
Maybe if it was moving around. Figure out how to stop the time stop, maybe you would just sink in it. Be engulfed by it. And everyone outside would, deal with it.
Watch Fastner be evaporated, disintegrated, eviscerated. I'm going back to energy pulses.
Doing what?
Can I discern the nature of said pulse? The cyan pulses in this case.
What about the pulses?
As I was going back to the energy pulses, can I discern the nature of what they're attempting to do?
You can tell that it's sending energy toward a thing.
And the purple pulses are sending energy back out,
That's what it
away
seems
from
like.
the thing.
Yes.
There's like a lot of periods of silence as you just think about what's going on.
You had a
And
week.
I'm aware of that.
You had 2
Hmm?
weeks.
Yes. I had 2 weeks to think about how to have a conversation.
You gotta initiate the conversation first.
Conversations tend to be two-sided.
It is. Right now, anyway.
Right. So,
I will say that as you continue to observe the energy pulses, you do feel an affinity with the cyan ones, too. Probably no surprise of yourself. Like the moment they pass by your boots, you feel it, and it doesn't hurt. Purple ones normally don't go that far, assuming you took even a half step away from the orb.
as if I want to be anywhere near it anymore.
Exactly.
It kind of took my entire hand.
Stripped it of all organic processes around it. At least in those digits, anyway.
I was very attached to that hand. I mean, it wasn't like the old one, but it's still my hand.
Are you verbalizing that? Or is that above
Yes?
table talk? Okay, so as you concentrate on missing your hand, you do see some of the cyan travel up your leg and begin to reconstitute it. And after a little bit, it is restored. It does take on a strange liquid form, the energy does, toward the end there, but you just kind of shake your hand and it flies off.
Well, thank you. Huh. Well, I suppose I came in here because I wanted to see if I could help at all, but
The
I don't know
pulses
how to do that.
once again travel toward the orb.
Earlier you said something about energy, dangerous energy building up.
Well,
That
yeah,
was
whenever you
direct
were
coming
acting
from
as
Sodor.
whenever you were acting as a conduit between the two, you were like a fuse. Alright. That needs to stop. Caleb.
Caleb, something broke.
Something's very broke.
I'm having issues.
But, yeah, earlier, whenever you were between two opposing things, it was kind of clashing.
Now I'm no longer between two opposing things. What
Correct.
did I do at that time when I was between two opposing things?
Acted as physical. What's your question? And to who is it?
Thaddeus, do not remember what it was I was doing. I thought it was because I was attacking said physical, or thing.
Well, you touched it, and it began to incinerate your organics. and then it wouldn't let you go. And then you pushed a bit, and it was difficult but not impossible. And then eventually you were able to pull away whenever it was pushing away, and you got your hand out. You also lobbed a weird poison ball. It's over there. Look at it.
It's over there. It'll do something eventually. First time I've thrown one of those. Good to know I still can. So, green sign energy is what I have an affinity with. Seems to be sending energy towards the purple orb, which I do not like because it doesn't like organics. For some reason. I cannot send an attack towards said purple orb because it would just freeze in midair because time is stopped. Is there any chance you can get rid of that purple laser? Just out of curiosity, I was asking.
Just to the air around you, you asked the question?
Yes.
You see pulses run along the cavern. You see it then quickly pulse in the direction that you came from. There's a moment of nothingness, at which point in time you do, almost imperceptibly, see the purple orb in the center expand slightly. And then the pulses resume what they were doing beforehand.
I don't know what you did, but I feel like that was in response to my request. So, thank you for this attempting. I'll go check this later. I'm a hive mind. I don't want to connect to another hive mind.
You gotta weigh your options, and I would say weigh your time, but you were given a cheat code for that.
I'm going to cheat code for time. Of course, I still have a time limit. I can't spend all day just sitting here in silence thinking about what to do. So, out of so, I haven't used that one spell I forgot the name of all of a sudden.
That could be so many things at this point.
It could be so many spells, so many things. I'll let you speak with gods. Or spirits. To some degree. To determine what actions you do or do not want to take in the future.
Augury? But that's more connected to your brain.
Augury. I wasn't sure if it made a distinction.
It connects to your patron, supposedly, which in this case is not these things.
Not these things at all. I need some form of easily recognizable feedback. I can talk to my stone.
It's like, how much do you want me to interject here? You know what I mean?
I know. You can't just give me the answer. I'm aware of that.
I can, but you'll hate it. Not even because of what it is.
Why would I hate it?
Because it's a big part for you, and I don't think you want to just be told, do this.
No, good point. So next question, because I need to just keep asking questions so I eventually get an idea of what's going on and how I can continue to move the plot forward. Cyan pulses and purple pulses. They are conflicting. One is pushing, the other is pulling.
One's pushing inward
One
towards
person's
something.
pushing in, one's pushing out.
Yes.
That's what we're saying that. Do they seem to be, by the legal definition, conflicting?
Yes. As a matter of fact, whenever the cyan one stopped for a bit, the purple one seemed to have gained some traction.
So this is quite literally two beings fighting over the same body. So they're fighting over who has most control over it. Right now, Cyan is in the advantage. And purple is on the losing end. As I currently understand it.
Think out loud as much as you want.
I need a few minutes. It's my scene. I can't not take a break. But
You can't take a break. There's no can't not there.
sorry, I can't take a break because it is my scene that I am lost in.
I'll let other people toss out suggestions. I can't do it though.
It's cheap. Can't attack. I can't help the Scion energy at all in any sort of way.
Why not?
Because any action I do take just gets frozen. Just frozen in time. Unless it's literally forcing energy into the Scion creature being. as they're seeing the next wave.
Medina sent a GIF asking for rescue.
Somebody save me.
I just remember that song.
Gotta do something.
I gotta do something. I gotta do something, and the only thing I can think of to start cycling through my stone abilities. Unless you will let me feed charges specifically into set.
Well, right now
Hey,
everything's just a bit more of an amorphous energy state.
It is just an energy state. As an energy state, it begs to be given form. But you can't give form to something you can't touch. Or move, I suppose.
Not from external factors.
Do
But
we
you
need
move
internal
around.
factors?
You move around.
Hmm?
You were able to interact with that thing. You were able to interact with the floors. You even served as a conduit there for a little bit before backing out of that. And that's just what you've already done. Hey, you can't toss an energy ball at it, but you can figure something out.
I seem to have misunderstood something. From the time when I was acting as a conduit. At that time. Sorry. Better question. Does... Better phrasing. Purple orb is sending out purple waves in response to cyan orbs sending out cyan waves. Originally, I thought cyan rays were reaching the purple orb, and then in response, the purple waves were coming in. Is it more like purple waves are reflecting or stopping cyan waves from reaching the orb?
That's probably closer. An equivalent amount of things are being both sent and sent back, thereby causing a stalemate. Yeah? Yeah.
Yeah. There's been a stalemate for a long time, and now I am a third party coming in to come break up the stalemate.
Potentially.
That is my role in this case. The reason I am stuck
It's because you have to commit to one or the other.
I have to
Honestly.
commit to one or the other. I spent the last 2 weeks thinking of ways to make them be all nice and happy to each other with each other.
You recall your initial objective was to make things weak, so you could have a spot at the bargaining table. You've gotta... You gotta put one on the back foot. As per which one, that's up to you.
You've said before that the orange, where did I get the orange from? Cyan waves are capable of like crawling up my legs, and I feel more of affinity towards cyan.
Well, yeah, you're currently utilizing something that's encasing you in a field of it. It's the safe thing, or it's the thing that you do not feel any danger from. Because as far as it's concerned, you're its operative. But you have your own power, you have your own choices. Autonomy is the word.
And once before you mentioned I was able to act as a conduit between the two. How dangerous does that seem for my own well-being?
Yes.
Yes. But that would assist one or the other in getting their attacks forward. We're just doing something instead of standing here doing nothing for another half an hour.
We're at an hour 08.
Yeah. So for another hour. So I'm going to decide now that that is the path I'm taking. I can touch the floor and touch the orb simultaneously. I suppose I will attempt to do so again.
Standing on the floor,
This
you reach
time.
out to touch the orb.
Hoping to channel some of the silent energy through to the orb.
Once again, as you make contact with it, it hurts a lot.
Hurts a lot, but it's something.
The next part is
Sending energy forward into the core orb. However that might be possible. Whether I need to do that with an attack or
you press it forward. You begin to feel
forward.
your hand be encompassed in this thing.
I already lost one hand, my right hand once. I might as well, it might still be numb. Hopefully.
I need final confirmations here. These are things that I cannot assume because it is probably permanent for your character.
You say things that are so concerning.
You should be
Thank
concerned.
you very much.
You should be very concerned.
Be afraid. Be very afraid.
There's no biblically accurate angles here. Just two gods duking it out. And I decided now would be a great time to get in between them. If I have reasonable suspicion that this would weaken one or the other, then this was the plan of action that I would be taking.
And that course of actions is?
Continue pushing forwards, hoping to channel some of the energy from one into the other.
Now, are you strictly acting as a conduit? Or are you pushing forward Asa yourself?
Wish. Pushing forward also myself.
Okay. Going in time with the cyan pulse as you press further inward. Eventually you get it to where it is your elbow. You continue.
Does anything seem to be having a reaction to the core?
One more time.
Do I seem to be doing anything besides needling my arm?
As you are doing this, you are able to see that the pulses are able to actually interact with the core. As per what that does, you are unaware. But as per your physical body being pressed inside, you're unaware if that is a thing that is doing anything. That might require a full commitment. See what happens. But at current, you are acting as a link between the two. Which one does not seem to be appreciative of.
I wonder with my hand the other time. You said I had full mobility still?
Yeah. Once you were able to drag it out.
Might as well just continue on.
Full send.
If it's something with something. So, yeah.
Okay. Inch over agonizing inch. You are enveloped by this core. The world gets very bright and very dark. And then you find yourself in the void. Looking down, you see, at the very least, what you think of yourself. So whatever Jodak would consider his true form. I don't know if you go back to Halfling or not.
He has not solidified, but combined his body with his mind. So at this point, it would be the face of Norman.
Okay. But you find yourself in the void, inexplicably lit, with a small chair.
Just I'm sitting in a small chair or standing next to it.
Standing next to it.
It's there. Might as well take a seat. Feels like an invitation to me.
You take a seat. Stare off into nothingness. No more pulses of any kind. For maybe the first time that you remember, you feel very alone.
Well, hello? Anybody there? Is there an echo?
There is not.
Oh,
There's nothing for it to bounce off of. Eventually you will hear. Why are you here?
I don't know where here is.
You did not mistakenly arrive. Why are you here?
Last I remember, I wanted to broker a peace deal with someone. Between two individuals.
To meddle in
And now I'm
affairs
here.
beyond your scope. Truly, is this all?
It might have been beyond my scope. But if anyone could, I was probably the only one who could. Take it possible think.
A lofty sense of self-worth for one so insignificant.
It's less self-worth, more after weighing all the other options, all other available options.
Rationalize however you wish. Your presence is as insulting as the rest of it.
Insulting? How so?
The fact you've asked that.
And I'm sorry.
4.
Suppose insulting you is my present.
You suppose?
That seems to be the case. That is the assumption I am making. It's probably a bold assumption.
You are racked with uncertainty, aren't you? Uncertain of your purpose. A lofty sense of self-worth. But even when put to press, you yourself don't know why you're really here.
I know I needed to be here.
Oh. Why?
I need to be here to have this conversation. It is more than anyone else could have asked for.
On that end, we shall yet see.
May I be so bold as to ask a question of you? Another
That is a
of you.
question. You've already asked one. Why are you hesitating?
To see how you reacted to the first one.
So you're
The question was
testing me.
Not at all. It was a prelude to the question I actually wanted to ask. And that was to ask if you were I don't know how to say this, the god of order?
I think that if I tried to explain that to you, you would cease being what you are. If that is what you have ascribed to me, then sure. So why is it that one of the rogue mortals finds their way here? You're not supposed to be here. You know that.
I do. But I figured if anyone who talked or tried to ask for assistance from me, it would be someone in.
You want my help? I've been trying to impose order upon things for a very long time. And yet it's only by the grace of that parasite that you find yourself in here, and now you ask me for help.
Parasite is a parasite. They have their own sense of order. The order is to infect others.
Are you trying to rationalize that thing to me? Give it a reason?
I'm rationalizing my reasoning for believing that I may be the best person to come. Correct.
You've said that several times, but thus far you've only tried to sing your own praises.
I'm comparing myself to others. That is all. You're being plagued by a parasite. I technically am a being that also is plagued by a parasite. Hence, I hope this similarity would do me something.
You're talking below your mic's floor now, by the way.
What all did you hear?
I think that you finished with do me some good, but
Has to do
the
me some
good
good. That's to do me
disappeared.
some favors.
Do you some favor? Then you know what then you see what I mean. You sought to find common ground with something immeasurably more ordered than you. Right. Let's see what it's become out there.
It's just my attempt at a beginning. If I did not have a beginning, would you even bother to speak with me?
If you did not what? Enunciate.
If I did not have something in common, or that at least I believe.
Do you think that
Do
is
you have
why
any-
your form
any
still...
that's
No.
related to you? Sorry, can you say it again?
Do you believe common ground is why you still have a consciousness?
I do not know.
Then allow me to disillusion you of that. You exist now because you forced your way in.
I see. I thought this chair was a nice invitation.
It is to put you in a place. That you remember where you belong. Out of words?
Trying to understand your point of view.
My point of view. Alright. I made things to fulfill their purposes, and they don't do it anymore, and that's quite annoying. Additionally, because I can no longer fulfill mine.
What do you call your purpose?
Putting order to things.
How do you define order?
That is for me to know. And others to be defined by. Take your form, for example, and a small mirror will appear in front of you. Looks correct, right?
Yes, but also no. But yes.
For the sake of us both, I'll ignore that. If we were to, say, do this, and then your perception shifts as you see that your head is now where your shoulder is, and your arm would connect to, and your arm is where your neck would be. That is out of order. And wrong. You agree, of course.
That is not how I would naturally be. Yes, I do agree.
Then you would agree that, and it'll fix you. This is better. This is my purpose. Even if your previous iteration would be able to function appropriately, it is not correct and needed writing.
Excuse me, but I don't understand then. I understand the point you were getting. What I don't understand is your issue with your parasite.
What?
You are trying to put everything to order. Its sense of order says it should be doing what it's doing. Is
Its
that
sense
not
of
right?
order. What the hell are you talking about?
A parasite's supposed to infect others. That's the natural order of things. But you take issue with said parasite, despite it following the natural order of things.
That thing is beyond that. It is wrong.
Is different always wrong? Then?
Often.
I see. Then why am I still...
As I said before, you forced your way in. Are you asking why I have not eliminated you yet?
that or rejected me?
I was curious. But I suppose that the curiosity has abated. And then...
Simply wish for a chance to speak, to understand your motives and motivations.
Then I guess you've had your chance.
I wasn't sure how much of the
And
actions
around
on the
you-
outside world were because of you, or because of it.
An orb of electricity will spawn. And then your world will go white. The whiteness doesn't subside, but you do feel something around you.
Is it something malleable that I can move?
Just kind of
Can I
feeling
move?
it. Something is maintaining your humanoid form. As you can tell, like... Oh, that's your finger going over your arm. Type deal. Do you do anything in the immediacy?
Can I move at all?
You can move around. You can make out that you're still in this orb.
Can I
But,
feel when the pulses are?
say what?
I'm assuming the orb is still pulsing in the same way it was before.
No, this is the metaphorical orb inside the orb.
Metaphorical orb inside the orb.
Metaphysical orb inside. Whatever you want to call it. It's in the thought plane. Woohoo. And then the purple ball will open, and you'll be kind of roughly deposited out of it. Curious.
Curious, you said?
Yes.
How curious? Why
You should
curious?
be dead. You should be erased.
I very much like not being dead. Thank you very much.
I don't care what your opinions are.
Ouch. If I still have feet, can I just stand up?
Yeah, no, your form is intact. Just a guy wearing whatever clothes it is you think you're wearing. Probably your armor set.
Probably my armor set, because the last thing I remember seeing myself in. So I'm not dead. What does that mean?
There is no response.
The world's still bright?
No, the orb stopped doing orb things. You're back in the void.
My chair's still there.
There's a singe on it from where the ball picked you up at, but yeah, it's still there.
So it seems something else about me is worth thinking about.
And let me guess, you don't know what it is either.
I may have some ideas, but any solid answers? Don't have any.
Then what are your ideas?
I mean, you claimed I was rather attached to that parasite of yours. They could be protecting me somehow.
Did you
But they
just
don't typically
refer
use
to
this.
that thing as my other side?
I didn't say to your other side. I said to that parasite.
That Paris. Enunciate.
Apologies. But granted, they are a being of chaos. I think.
So then you're its minion then.
Would you call me one of its minions? They kind of still really hate me. Assuming the creatures that are created are part of their domain and not your domain.
I am only dimly aware of what happens outside. But if I may make assumptions, I'd say you have more to lose here than I do. If you have something to accomplish here, I suggest you set about doing it.
Is there anything I can... Is there a being that I'm actually talking to? Or is it just talking into the void?
Into the void.
I'm standing in the void, as the ground seems solid.
It seems like ground. It probably feels like what you think it feels like.
What I wish to accomplish was to speak to one of you two. Try to broker a peace deal between you.
There will be
Mostly.
peace once it is eradicated.
See, from speaking to you, I don't believe that to be the best case scenario for maintaining my current livelihood.
And I have told you what I think of your opinions.
You don't care about them at all. I'm very much aware.
Get to it.
Right, I was
Or
also
I will
here
figure
to
out
ask you
how to
for
shunt you
assistance.
and get on with my business.
But you said you didn't want to offer assistance. Do you ever have to deal with living crystals coming to life and, I don't know, attacking?
I can only assume you refer to, and then it says something that makes your eyes bleed slightly.
Yeah, don't, please don't do that again.
They are of no concern to me.
Are they of no concern in your current state?
They are of no concern to me.
Are they not a race of disorder? Or a type of
Race.
disorder?
They'll say
Well,
the
if they're alive, they have to be declared as a race. Or
they'll
a
say the
species.
thing again, and then say is a being.
So, too omnipresent to be a singular being.
No.
It has little offshoots in familiar shapes.
Did they send someone to
Pretty sure
speak
I
with a
saw a
god that
dragon.
does not understand how gods work? What is this thing before me? Not
The
only is it
gods do
made
not
out of
exist
different
anymore.
parts, traces of that thing amongst it, but it seems to know nothing as well. And yet it is what is sent my way. Typical.
As far as we most are aware, you are the last living god. If you can call your current state living.
If you are trying to get at something, get to it. I grow tired of your yammering.
You always just eject me back out, at least, or wherever I am.
That was
I know I
the
don't
plan.
want. I don't think it'd be good for the world if your parasite was set free to go do what it wants to do.
Finally, we have a point of agreement.
But because of what it is, we do not know of a way to weaken or disarm it. In the same manner, we don't know of a way to get rid of whatever that crystal being you said was.
Well, if this crystal being, as you call them, is on their way, simply direct them here and they would likely provide the boon I needed to get that other thing out of me.
Is that to say that you are, for lack of a better word, allied with them?
They are of kin, and would likely be against this parasite.
Then what is this thing you call a parasite?
A parasite.
Is it also not also godly in nature?
The very idea is insulting.
I had a feeling you would say that. But it's the most similar to this crystal being that I'm currently aware of. Granted, I also don't have a lot of gods to compare to. My goal in coming here was just to broker peace between you and said parasite. Hoped I could get you along well enough to stop whatever is coming so we didn't have to erase a whole planet from this planet.
That peace would come at its destruction and nothing else. If your goal was truly one so ill-guided. Well, you have my apologies that you thought of it in the first place.
I'm just mortal after all.
I am aware. And you're not in your place. None of you are.
And what place should mortals be taking? In your opinion.
Varies to the individual, but I cannot coordinate them as I would like to be.
Because they do not like to be coordinated?
Because I am parasitized by... I understand it's hard for you and you're confused by simple concepts. But were that thing not stopping me, everything would be ordered and happening as it should be. This conversation would have never happened, and your family wouldn't be dead. But here we lie.
What family are you referring to?
The ones you lost. The ones that are dead. What one do you...
Do you have two families? I am two beings.
Are they
But
all
won't be.
dead?
No, I
Then
hope
it
not.
should have been obvious.
I don't know what's happened over there for a while. You might have seen something I hadn't.
If so, do you think I would tell you given how frustrating you've been while you've been here?
Yes. If only because you believed I knew, or two, get some semblance of revenge.
I
Know,
was telling you what fate had in
annoying me.
store before things got corrupted by chaos. But your statements are getting you nowhere.
I can see that they're not. Which is unfortunate in and of itself.
You insist upon a peace with this thing that requires eradication. And you've offered very little else.
If not peace, then one of you would need to destroy the other, so that you would be free, I suppose. I understand. We assume that you would not want to be destroyed yourself. And I cannot believe that if you destroy them, you wouldn't destroy me in the process.
I
Simply
attempted
because
to
I'm
do that
already
moments
here.
ago.
Yes, you
Something
did.
is protecting you.
I am glad for it.
I'll make this easy. And then a purple portal will open behind you. Leave what little remains of my realm.
Am I? Never mind. No. Good question. Arik,
Hello.
prior to entering the orb entirely, what was going on?
You were experiencing a lot of pain.
I don't know if I was paying attention to anything besides the pain.
You used the
Understood.
pulses to take you forward. There's really... your question is too vague.
It is indeed very vague. I do not have a way of elaborating at this moment.
But it seems like law here is telling you to get the fuck out.
I've already annoyed God enough for one day, I think. So I think I'm going to take this offered opportunity to just walk out through the portal.
As you walk out, you are once again enveloped in white. You feel that same weird thing around you as you find yourself reconstituted outside of the orb. You look down and there's a small cyan outline of you that quickly recedes away.
Oh, thank you. How is the orb looking at this moment?
Smaller than it was.
smaller than it was, which is good for
Question
me.
mark? Really up for debate, that.
It went about as well as I thought it was going to go.
You still find yourself with a decided problem here, though.
There is still the problem of
Everything is still a problem. Nothing has been solved.
everything still being a thing. Nothing has been solved. I've just been here. I've pissed off a god. I'm not going to go bother the god again. Sebastian still probably has a laser shooting at him. Kieran is still a rage monster that's raging and full of slime. And I honestly don't want to take the attention away from this guy, Parasite guy, to go and have him deal with that.
You know this is here now. You know it exists.
I do know it is here. I do know it exists. How much smaller is said purple orb? Is it small
No.
enough that I could believe it to acting as a conduit? Can I shrink it down enough to make it not seem like a problem?
You're gonna go full into act as conduit, push energy?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. In that case...
I don't want to, shrink it down to nothing. Just a bit more now so that I could divert the attention of Scion away for a bit and they won't gain too much ground.
In that case, make a charisma check as you try to impose your will.
$20 total.
Okay. You see some pulses along it, and right as you are kind of getting the feeling that you can't really accomplish much more, you do see a singular strand of black in the purple orb.
Black?
Yes. And as you see that there, you don't know if you blinked weird or what went on, but you could swear everything just shifted ever so slightly.
That singular strand of black, is it still present or did it
It's hard to
get
make out.
covered?
It was like a hair on a beach ball.
See, how are the waves looking now?
Still at about the same pace. It's possible that Cyan is slightly faster than it was before.
Is there a way I can have a conversation with Scion?
Would you like to try?
Yes.
How?
I assumed it would be the same thing. Say it again?
I said how.
I assumed I would try the same thing, pushing into its domain.
Would you like to go
It's
into
based-
the goo?
The goo is not
Feels like a one-way trip.
checking me. Probably would be a one-way trip now I think about it. As the core orb embedded in me, and that has been whispering every once in a while. So could I communicate with my stone? Well, I'm surrounded by the stone source.
In what way?
How did I do it before? Did I telekinetically connect to it?
Would you like to open telepathic communication?
Does that imply telepathic communication with the remainder of my hive mind?
You're stuck in time save for the godly beings. You try it and find out.
I can hear the stress in your voice.
We are 2 hours in and you have not tried to telepathically communicate with anything.
Because you told me not to try and telepathically communicate with anything.
I did not. I said it might be scary.
It might be scary. And it's very scary. So yes, I will go ahead and try it out.
What are you opening your senses toward?
In this case, specifically towards my own stone, if I could.
Due to the nature of the stones, you don't really get anything than you're specifically a presence.
In that case, could I connect to something protecting me before the orb?
The orb you get nothing back from.
Then the rest of the slime that's around me.
The slime you feel like you're being watched. And listened to. But it's almost predatory. Like a cat
Predatory
that's a
based.
little too big. What you doing?
Wondering how I could shrink down the cat. I mean, I did kind of feed it just a second ago.
That's
Fine,
you've
like a
already
lot.
tipped the scale, so like whatever you've done, you've already done.
hmm So I
Do something.
think you're listening. Can you perhaps get rid of the other slime creature that's out there? Outside of here.
You get an image of the big ass laser beam heading directly toward it and Vashtir.
Could you get rid of the laser beam? I'd much rather keep Vashtir outside of the laser beam range, if that is possible. I don't know.
You get a very questioning presence.
Questioning my motives. Questioning my question.
Yes. I'm afraid this one isn't exactly one for words. Because I don't want to scream at myself 15 different ways. So you're gonna get the majority of the vibe.
I would like to keep dwarven level, if at all possible.
More questions as you get the image of the big, scary, imposing creature that has to go. That it recognizes as a threat.
Would that still be a threat?
You get an image of the
Seems
laser
so much
beam
stronger
firing
now.
through and ashing everything. And then a resounding calm afterward.
Yes, but then the dwarf is dead, and I don't want the dwarf to be dead.
You get an image back of a horrifically mutated Vashnir. Like, eh?
He's already kind of a little bit mutated. Horrifically mutating on more, probably not good.
It gives you the same picture,
Not ideal.
and you do feel like it's offering.
I'm not going to make that decision for him. But if you can horribly mutate him, can't you just move him out of the way?
Image of the laser beam. And then an image of the orb.
The laser beam's under power of the orb. The orb is there. And not communicating. Unless you can reabsorb some of the power to feed back to the orb, which I know you don't want to do.
You do get an image of the orb dwindling even more so, followed by an image of the beam almost disappearing. But then an image of the big creature roaring and chomping off Vashnir's head is the next thing you see. And then you get a vibe that's kind of like, what do you want me to do? Like, is this what you prefer?
It is not what I prefer. Because I'm so fast here. Horrifically mangled. Unless that would give me some time to do something. Like teleport him away.
Almost like creeping in from the corner, you get the same image of the mutated Vashnir, like, eh? This time his head looks different.
You make a good point. But no. Thank you. Not yet, at least.
Now it's sad.
I'll ask him first.
You get an image of headless Vashnir and like questioning little lines around where his ears used to be.
I'll ask him as long as he doesn't lose his head. Or his body. Or his soul.
Blink weird again. You feel like everything moved. If only so slightly. may be running out of time.
I feel like I'm running out of time. I'm aware I'm running out of time. Arik,
Hello.
assuming this chain of events,
Which one?
diminished laser fashion because his head bitten off. Chain of events.
Okay.
Would I have time to teleport him out of harm's way?
Above game, right now you're talking with something that seemingly has immeasurable power. I give you a shrug in response.
This is the thing that seemingly has immeasurable power but cannot stop a single laser. Or
Because the
Cult.
laser's coming from something else immeasurable.
could he just use one of his other spider legs to divert it?
I feel like that's a question you have to ask it. Gotta me.
That is the question I am currently asking it. Instead of you.
It gives you an
Sacrifice it.
image of like it just putting the leg in the way and then all three things still getting vaporized by the beam. It pushing Vashnir and the creature over and then its leg gets vaporized by the beam.
Put Vashnir and the creature to be out of the way.
That was in the image. And then the next image is the creature biting off Vashnir's head.
That's still preferable timeline, I would say. You can just stab into the creature.
The next image would then be the creature charging the base, now weakened from the beam, and proceeding inside, possibly winning.
The base.
Of the broken leg, the same thing you came at. It's like, I don't know about that plan, Chief. Feels like a bad plan.
It feels like a bad plan to let Vashnir be horribly mutated. I don't see you offering up any other ideas. Well, actually, you did offer up sweeping the leg. Never mind. Night, Caleb.
At this point, it's basically just offering you a picture of Vashnir being dusted or a picture of his head being bitten off and then something else happening. It looks like it can deal with one of those, but the other one seems permanent.
If his head bitten off, it can deal with that?
It gives you mutant Vashnir again.
How mutant is mutant Vashnir?
You know internally that he's mainly goo. In that picture.
It would have been in my best interest to communicate with Law to get them to remove the laser. Not that they would, but it would have been in the best interest.
Came at that from the wrong angle.
Yeah, I was going with the, hey, I'm a parasite too.
Neat. You should also
I
be
work perfectly
destroyed.
fine. You should be law and chaos, or
No.
order and chaos.
No.
It works fine.
No.
That's a great combination. They go together so perfectly. Wouldn't you like being one being instead of two fighting?
But we're not there anymore, so let's move on. Shit's gotta happen. You're Things are looking flickery.
Things are looking flickery. Do I have time to weaken the orb a bit more to reduce laser?
Siphon a bunch of power from the thing. You can try. Would you like to make that charisma check?
I feel like I must make that charisma check. Because I do not have an alternative. Unless I can also communicate with the whatever inside of Kieran.
Run all the way outside.
Do I have time to run all the way outside?
You don't know.
I don't. No.
You've been reactive indecision this entire time, and now it is costing you.
It is. I knew it would. Things went differently than I hoped they would. 11.
Okay. You're putting forth effort to give this thing the slight leg up that it wasn't able to have before. In the process of doing so, you do see the orb shrink a bit more, and a lot of the lightning little particle things in the air dim or otherwise dissipate. That's where you are right now.
Now his option. Can you just take a can you take a spider leg and just knock his hand aside?
What?
Fashion's in the hand of one of the creatures.
He's in.
Of the other creature.
He got grabbed.
Mm-hmm. I don't need the whole creature to go toppling. I just need him to move slightly.
It gives you an image of Fashionir being crushed. It's like, it's not gonna save him, man.
Sacrificing a leg would.
If you
Purification is not an option.
rewound time and didn't weaken the orb more, maybe. Now the beam isn't powerful enough to get things done.
No, but it could weaken the creature and not allow him to come up and win anymore. Win a direct confrontation.
Then maybe you should suggest another course of action now that this thing is no longer as concentrating on it was on keeping the thunder thing contained.
It's no longer concentrating on keeping the thunder thing in chain. You should be fine to sacrifice a leg to sweep that guy off his feet. You wouldn't even sacrifice a whole leg anymore because the thunder's weaker. At that point, you could still fight back against the other creature and win with some assistance.
Things are getting real flickery now.
That is the plan of action I am putting forward as a thing they should try to do.
You get an image of yourself placing your hand on the goo and channeling.
Channeling what and
Toward
where?
the goo.
My own power towards the goo?
Uh-huh. That's what it is giving you right now.
That is an option. but I don't see why it needs to be empowered more.
You get an image of tendrils branching out from the goo ground around the creature that Vashnir is being held by. And it penetrating it from a whole bunch of different angles. And then Vashnir falling down and bouncing on the goo. Before holding his thumb up. Like, yeah. What's that, Thaddeus? Did you just think, wait, no, actually, I can't trust this thing? Well, we're here now.
I've been thinking, wait, no, I can't trust this thing this whole time. But also thinking, I don't know, I can't trust the other things either. And Vasnir's in harm's way. There's nothing I can do to get him out of harm's way besides trust this thing. I need you to take the first thing of action. The first not being gooified.
Everything's flickering very quickly.
I'm headed out. I need to head out.
Time out. There is goo now. The floor is no longer solid. What are you doing immediately?
Flying out towards the way I was going.
You got
originally.
singular seconds. Your time out. You're not flying. You have... Do something now.
Do something now. I have one option, and that's giving power to the goo creature. If I could.
Okay. Medina, you alive?
I'm here.
Okay. Vashnir. The beam of hyper-destructive lightning energy coming towards your way peters out for some reason, and just instead gives you a light scorching. Around about the same time, you begin to feel this thing squeezing the remaining life out of you. And then there is a small cyan wave as the goo around this thing's feet seems to turn on it, and it begins to get dragged down into it. Are you doing anything?
It's crushing me, right?
It's trying to, but at the same point in time, like, if you start to lose your footing, it's like, bleh, you know, involuntary reactions.
Wait,
Tadori.
when you
So what?
like it's losing its footing, and because of losing its footing is squeezing me.
Yeah, no, it was squeezing you beforehand. As it's now losing its footing, it's more like startled.
I have a chance to escape.
Very possibly.
I should try to run free.
Okie dokie. I guess that'd be a strength check. James / Tadori. Are you dead, or just unconscious?
I mean, I've had 3 failed death saving throws.
Okay, so you've been dead. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Medina, give me your number.
The strength check.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I rolled a nat 1 and then like an 8 or something.
Cool. That's a momentary annoyance for you.
I know.
The 4 be 18.
Okie dokie. Vashnir, you begin to force yourself free. Tadora, you come to consciousness. On a scrap of flying carpet.
How in the... What in the...
You look up and you see Vashnir's bluish aura in between this thing's hand as it is being consumed by the ground itself.
Fast, you're not able to break free?
It doesn't seem like he's able to fully do so. Also, you feel that thing's influence gone from your mind. So you can remove those corruption points.
Cool.
As it seems distracted.
I have 2 charges. I'm gonna activate my stone, fly up to where Vashnir is, and acid breath the joint, like the wrist joint thing that's holding Vashnir.
Okie
To at least
dokie.
free him of that.
Vashnir, as you're struggling, you feel your struggle suddenly get a bit easier. And you're able to see what equates to light in this cavern again. As you force your way through some slightly dissolved hands. The screeching of this bipedal creature is echoing throughout the caverns as it is dragged straight downward.
I'll reach out to grab Vashnir so he doesn't fall
I'm
into
still
that.
in form.
Oh, you are? I didn't know!
Well, he can still grab you to
Yeah,
help you,
still-
not,
Yeah.
get out of the freaking hand.
Get that. Sure.
Is there a next step?
I should probably release my chain so it doesn't drag me with it.
Okay. The chain master releases the chain.
Because it's not... That's not killing it. I believe.
It is dragged screaming into the goo. What's the next thing on your 2?
Getting out of harm's way.
To the exit, Holden?
Something? Somewhere? Anywhere?
Go back in where you came out from? Or, yeah, out where you came in from?
Because it seems like the task has been completed in some roundabout way.
Something's happening.
And I'm not looking too hot.
Alright. Pian Tadori, Vashnir, you all head back into the cavern. Are you stopping at any point?
I have nothing to stop for, but
You're missing a
Everybody's
compatriot.
making sure everybody's coming.
Jodak is missing.
Who?
Jodak is missing.
Jodak. Where the fuck is he at? What?
Go turn around and go find Joe Dick.
Turn around, look at the cavern. There's a big goo monster that looks like it's eating another goo monster.
Calling out for Joe Dick.
He cannot hear you.
In here somewhere.
Where he is, I don't think that you have any logical way of going to. But if you're doing anything, I should probably know.
I'm just looking. It takes 10 minutes to cast that. I got 10 minutes.
You don't see him floating anywhere.
Fuck.
Decisions,
I'm
actions.
gonna cast. I was looking at my spells. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cast Sending. Targeting Jodak.
Go.
Where are you and how can we help?
Jodak, you get that message. You are completely surrounded by all the goo. Though you do know where you were.
I don't think you can. I was inside the slime.
Okay, that's one spell that's wasted. He said he was inside the slime, but he didn't say where. God damn it. As I say to
Just
Vashnir.
lie.
Fuck. I can do this 5 more times. I'm gonna cast Sending again. Where did you enter the goo?
I was inside the slime spider before it collapsed.
How in the fuck did you do that? Vashnir, he says he was inside the slime spider before it collapsed. What do you want to do? He's somewhere in the goo that is the spider, which I can only assume is this goo that's eating the humanoid that had grabbed you.
So he's the one that possessed Tadori?
No, the one that possessed me was the one that had grabbed you.
The one that was about to bite my head off.
Yes, the one that was trying to kill you is the one that possessed me.
I wish I had my fucking chains, God. Damn it. Damn it.
There's only a limited amount of things I can do here.
Make your decisions. You're running low on time.
The spider was over there.
It still is.
He
It's
was
basically encased in the wall. You can still see the spider-like form. It's not. It didn't go away.
I have a bag of green stuff. Didn't that do something to the stuff before?
It seemed to cause burning to it.
It's like an acid thingy. So yeah, it's gonna do a little bit, but we have to find him inside the goo. Is the problem.
Jodak, you doing anything or just one with the goo?
I was going to attempt to teleport up 500 feet. See if the cavern was that big. I don't know how big the cavern was. Using the door.
I gotta read the door now.
You can
teleport to a place you can describe.
But you can teleport inside a wall, and if you do teleport inside a wall, you take a lot of damage.
I gotta see what that is.
That's the problem.
The mansion door. Blah blah blah.
Which is why I prefaced by saying I don't remember how tall the cavern was, but I thought it was 500 feet.
Oh.
This doesn't say on which site. I can find him. Maybe.
Cool. Jodak,
tier
you take
2.
16 force damage and you aren't teleported. As the spell fails.
Designate 4 creatures or objects may be mixed within 200 feet. Till the end of your third turn. Doesn't say they have to. I have to see them.
Well, you do need to have him within that distance, though.
I can fly around and ping him.
In that case,
Failed this fails.
you're probably going to be... Well, no, you take a bunch of force damage, and then the spell fails.
It's 16, right?
Yes.
Okay.
In the spider. None of that. You said in the goose spider.
I don't know. I'm not questioning it. He's inside the goose spider before all this shit went south. We do not have long. How are we going to get him?
I just have an idea how to find him.
Dion has a fire squirrel summoned, right?
He did last time I remember.
And I think it's understandable if he could use that as a battering ram since he went to bed.
Have I sense
Maybe? Eh?
intelligence creatures nearby?
Yeah?
Okay, so we have an idea of where Vashnir and Tadori are.
Ah. As you're
And in
thinking
which
this,
direction they are.
the squirrel explodes.
He's watching the stream, I see.
Well, a lot of the goo in the cavern's gone now.
So right, is that a possibility?
Say what?
Can I sense where intelligent creatures nearby, and thus where Vashnir and Tadori are,
Yeah, probably.
and then teleport to a space next to them? Using Detour again?
Make an intelligence check. Find them.
Intelligence check. 20 total.
Okay. I'll say you managed to key in on the signal you recognize as Vashnir. And then
Go
you
next to
utilize that to teleport.
He did just say he's gonna D-door next.
I know, I said, and then he utilizes that to teleport.
Okay. Oh, thank God. Right. We're leaving.
Leaving. Get it.
But my carpet.
Brother, I have one scrap. If you don't have the other one, I can't help you.
Escaping? Escaping. Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Escaping.
Out through the entrance tunnel. Whenever you make it a certain distance in, you'll see another translucent barrier appear, blocking the way you came from.
Hit.
No, as in stopping you from going back to the
Oh,
pad.
okay. Oh, okay.
Really stopping it from coming to this way.
Yeah.
And as you get into the
Okay.
small, go in.
I just said okay.
Okay. And as you get into the small cavern, Callahan will stand up and go, I take it you've done whatever it was you're gonna do.
One thing is
I don't know. I don't know what's happened. I don't know what's going on, but the one that I assume is Kieran is being consumed. So,
which in and of itself is not a good thing.
We'll figure out what happened later. Do you need to go back down there for any reason, yes or no?
Kieran's too far gone. We can't save him. Big guy has made a decision, and all of us are here. I think we're good, yeah? Vesnir?
Yeah.
Unless you want to go back down and get my other half from the carpet.
It's a yes or no.
No.
Vashnir, inform your constructs to go onto this teleportation circle as quickly as they can, and as they say that, you'll see somebody's in the corner, just like putting the finishing touches on one, like all but activating it. We'll debrief up top.
Rest to relay that information to them.
As many that can get on are going to try.
Can I copy the glyphs that they have to make a second teleportation circle to make this faster?
It wouldn't be any faster. As a matter of fact, it'd be much slower. Theirs is basically done.
Okay. Well,
It's
no, I'm
just-
saying to make a second teleportation circle, because teleportation circle has a limit on how much
If
people
you
they can
want to
transport.
wait another however long teleportation circle takes to cast, with that going
it's
on
like a
beneath
minute.
you, that's a minute's a long time.
I know. This is fine. I was just asking.
Like you can, but I don't know how things will go.
Well, I know that teleportation circle has a limit on how many people can transport at one time. So what I was saying was make it faster, but instead of them casting multiple teleportation circles, we cut that in half or however, or whatever, math-wise, and we do it that way.
I'm not sure it
At least for one.
has a limit on people.
I thought it did. I don't know. Never mind.
What does? Teleportation circle might not.
I don't remember. I thought it did.
No,
Never
got it
mind.
right.
My bad. I'm sorry. I must be remembering like teleport and plane shift and all that.
Yeah, those have limits.
'Cause I know-
Circles just get
I
your
know-
ass on a circle.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say I know those two absolutely have a hard cap of like 8 people.
But the circle is produced, and all of you teleport. You find yourselves on the deck of a ship, seemingly one of the ones above you.
Okay. Ugh.
And I'm afraid that is where I have to end session for now. That is,
What was
remember
it like
what
to
happened.
die? Gotta know, what was it like to die?
Okie dokie. Till next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.